Hello, it's Elizabeth here, video day number 26. I've been running around like a possessed woman tonight trying to find a place on my evening walk where there's reasonable lighting. I'm standing in a bus shelter. I mean, man, I've actually created a new record though for myself tonight, and a number of steps taken in a day. So that's pretty cool. This process is really working for me. Anyway, the topic tonight is empowering words, empowering song lyrics, empowering statements. Now, I touched on this briefly in another video I've done. I've thought up a few new examples and directly related to my life. And sometimes we're what I call miscreating, where we are saying things and we don't realise, we're not aware of what we're doing to create a certain condition. Anyway, there's this one where Chrissy, my daughter, she was staying with friends for quite a long time. And for months and months and months and months, she had this recurring cough. And she came home one day to visit, and she was just in normal conversation. She made a comment, and you know how kids say, you know, some year it'll be, oh, cool, or oh, that's really hot, or that's really rad, or what all the kids around were saying that time was, oh, sick. So you can imagine what happened. As soon as I made her aware that she was saying that word, she stopped saying, oh, sick. I don't know what she changed it to, but she stopped saying it. And that cough cleared up in a matter of days. So that is the power of words on the brain, So there's another one, empowering song lyrics. Oh, I love this one. I bought a property at Mount Best in Victoria, and it needed a lot of renovation. And as I was driving out to this property, there was a song, a really popular song that kept coming on the radio, and the tune was really catchy. So I'm singing this song, and part of the lyrics were, I want to burn this house right down. I'm going to burn this house right down. And I changed the lyrics. Every time that came on, I changed the lyrics to, I want to build this house right up. I want to build this house right up. I want to build this house right up. And I'd sing it at the top of my voice so I couldn't hear those particular lyrics. Well, lo and behold, I sold that property in 3 years and tripled my money, which is the greatest profit that I've ever made, to this day anyway. So I could do it again, I suppose, if I wanted to. Now that I've activated that, you never know what might happen. It's really great to reactivate the things that work for you. There's also been some interesting little memes going around on Facebook that I've been laughing. Every time I see one that I consider to be disempowering, I change the words. Now there's one that's been going around, if you want to fly, let go of the things that are holding you down. Now that in itself sounds like a really empowering statement, except your brain has only got one reference point: to let go of the things that are holding you down. The things that are holding you down. So your attention is on the things that are holding you down. So you never get to lift up and off and fly. A more empowering statement would be, I want to fly. I want to feel what it's like with the wind beneath my wings. I want to soar. I want to float above the clouds, whatever it might be. That's your empowering statement. That gives your mind a reference point that's away from the problem. So find those little statements. How incredible. We know so many examples in my own life, in the lives of people that are close to me, where changing a simple statement or a simple word that you use, or a phrase that you use on a regular basis, can take you from sickness to wellness. And there's another one too. I mean, this is my favourite. The last one I'll touch on tonight is that little poster that goes around, this year I'm going to get rid of all the toxic people in my life. Oh, I love that one. That one just cracks me up. Because as you know, by what I've just said before, your mind has only got one reference point, the reference point of the toxic people, getting rid of the toxic people. So what that's most likely going to produce, if you haven't reframed it in your own mind, if you haven't given your brain another reference point, what that is most likely going to produce is you noticing, more toxic people. You're probably going to have them all around you. They're going to be at work, they're going to be home, they're going to be everywhere. So change your reference point. Make that a more empowering statement, or make it funny. I mean, I actually think that reference to toxic people is just hilarious. I mean, what did you do? Did you roll them in nuclear waste? Is that how they got their name? We often label things that we don't understand. We give them a label so that we can contain them in a way that we can understand them. That's why sometimes women say, all men are bastards. You know, that's not true. Sometimes we say, somebody's a bitch. You know, that's not true. All it is you not understanding their behaviour. Now, I'm not going to go into understanding their behaviour on this video, but I'd really like to broach it on another video, because that one thrills me. Understanding behaviour, I love that. I love it. To understand why people do what they do, that has to be the topic of a really good video. Anyway, this theory of toxic people, I get so charged up. It's just so funny, you know. If you can imagine, I mean, maybe you rolled them in nuclear waste, whatever it was. What you might like to imagine in your mind is rolling them in melted chocolate, or if you really like scents, roll them in the beautiful fragrance, the nicest fragrance you can possibly think of. Imagine that in your mind, and a reframe in your imagination, in a positive reframe, has far more power than a negative reframe at any time. Really, all you're saying when you're saying that you've got toxic people in your life, what you're really saying is you've lost your ability to be creative, to focus on their positive aspects and draw that out of them. You know how good you feel when you can find the spark, when you can turn on the light in someone, no matter how bad they might be. You might see somebody who's a man who's mistreating his woman, but yet he's really looking after his motorcycle beautifully. The way to do it is to not talk about what he's doing that he shouldn't be doing. Compliment him on how he's treating his motorcycle, and lift him up like that, because when people are lifted up in one area of their life, it transfers to more than one. It transfers, it multiplies. Positive energy has far greater momentum than negative energy does anytime. So the toxic people in your life, find some creative ways. If you're going to talk about them as being toxic, change the reference. That's why NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnosis are so valuable, because they give the brain another reference point, a positive reference point. They give the brain a place to go to instead of a place to stay stuck in. So the toxic people in your life, you don't have to get rid of them, just get creative, you know. So let's say somebody, you call them toxic because they gossip. I mean, have you ever got into a really good mood and they're starting to do their conversation, and you just look into their eyes, deeply into their eyes. I just love you. I mean, it has to be a genuine compliment. But if you are in a loving state, you can completely blow their conversation out of the water. Same with negative behaviour. Find the positives in their behaviour and multiply those. Stop focusing on the other. Just let it go. Find a positive reframe and let your mind take you to where you really want to go instead of holding you stuck. I love you. Thank you for being there. Bye.